do
Boom,
do
boom,
do
boom,
do
boom, boom, boom,
do
boom,
do
boom, boom,
do.
boom, 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 just a dope ass podcast. Uh. If
Do
anybody,
I?
yeah, so if anybody out there is fucking, making beats and shit, this is your fucking time to shine, yo. That motherfucking, that motherfucking Spotify came through and hit niggas with a Rico sweep. Said you niggas is, we're over it.
Terrible.
I got,
I mean, the good thing is we got YouTube. YouTube ain't did it.
yeah,
So y'all can still go listen to stuff and watch stuff on YouTube, which is probably better in my opinion, but
oh,
Spotify clearly don't want to pay nobody no money, so they said fuck us and just got rid of shit.
oh, that was funny as hell, yo. YouTube has some shit up, not YouTube, fucking Spotify has some shit. That shit said, yeah, they grabbed that shit was like episode 72, 48, 276, 301. I was like, oh, y'all just fucking swiping
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, this got rid of every fucking thing. Huh?
No,
Okay,
yeah,
I guess.
so yes. I think they hit us for like what was it, like 20, like 27 episodes. They just somebody was over there just clicking they shit away. You don't own this. So I think it's, still the funkiest pod, but maybe we're the funkiest pod in theory, because them niggas
I'm
was.
sure there's ways to figure it out. We can definitely find like they do that even for lo-fi music. I think that may be the thing. Like look at the episodes that we had that they left and see what was on there and why they may have left it.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, there's probably I know there's different word to all the music makers out there, but that music shit, them shits worse than I think music fucking writes and deals worse than fucking Marvel shit. Cause I say that joke because if you've been watching any of the fucking Daredevil shits, I saw something pop up this week and it was like will Kingpin make it to any fucking on film shit? And I think the actor Vincent D'Onofrio came out and he was like, "Fuck no, the way this fucking shit works, this character can only be seen on TV." And that alone was like, man, yo, like word to everybody in the entertainment space. But I was like, I feel like I might max out here as a shit talker because them shits is confusing as fuck. Every time, like, make the movie, and I'm like, oh, you niggas literally can't. That's fucking crazy.
Which I understand, but don't understand. Like I thought the whole point of Disney fucking monopolizing everything was so that they could do whatever the fuck they want and kind of create the narratives and the stories the way that they want to. So for the actor to be like, no, we can't do this. We can only do that. It's like how? That don't make sense. You can literally y'all could do whatever the hell y'all want.
I assume so. I assume like I don't know. I feel like gotta maybe I feel like we're high quality geeks, but those who are deep in the entertainment space, um, the bunch that we follow or whatever, because I'm noticing now, I guess like when they start talking on these pages, it's like the contracts get all like, well, no, like you definitely can control these 27 niggas on film. These same 20 out of these 27, only 10 of these niggas can you do on both film and TV. And I don't know, out of the TV bunch, you got five. Like I guess the we got everything back deal, we got mostly everything back in
Mm.
a good amount of ways, but maybe not all the ways. Because I think that's
Yeah.
one of Hulk's issues. Like you can't. I think that's why you get like so much Hulk-ish shit, but not necessarily the Hulk. Because I remember something that they were like, you can't get a. Or there was something at one point where you got Hulk for the most part, but you can't get a flat out Hulk film or something like that. Don't quote me, but
Mm.
yeah, you can get
That
like.
just sounds like people not wanting to cut the check. It's like I'm sure Disney got fuck you money. So if Disney went to Netflix and was like, look, y'all not getting the show back. You already sold it to us. If you just like we're holding on to the character that we created, all right, well, we'll pay you or cut you in a little bit if we decide to make him have an appearance in the movie. So say whatever, you get 1% based on this character's appearance. If it's a movie that where this character is the main character, we'll give you 10 or 15% or some shit. And it ain't really a loss for them. Niggas just don't want to cut the check.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they want to. Shit, that's Sony shows us that every year with a movie that nobody asked for. Sony just make a movie, I think, every year just to make sure they keep their shit. Don't give a fuck what it does. Don't care about you to drop. Them motherfuckers went. We went Morbius, Madam Web, Craven like back to back to back. And nobody asked for any of them shits. And niggas, I don't give a fuck, bro. We gonna keep this shit for as long as we can.
I I would have not minded Craven had they set up Craven better.
Yep.
Craven wasn't bad. They just didn't set it up. Same thing with Madam Web. Like y'all lost Spider-Man, but you gonna come out with Madam Web. People don't even understand who Madam Web is and why. Same with Morbius. Like everything is Spider-Man related, but since we don't have Spider-Man no more, we just gonna do Spider-Man adjacent movies.
It took me 6 weeks to watch Madam Web the way I kept falling asleep on that fucking movie. I was like, I and I was like, this shit could be cool. And I realized you get to the end, and I was like, so nigga, these motherfuckers don't even become. You get the last 3 minutes of the movie where they become Spider Women or some shit, and I don't know, man. Craven, they just be changing shit you don't have to change. I want Craven to be a villain. I did not need. They should have called it like Lion
Or
Poacher Man, and I'd have been like, oh yeah, this is an amazing film. It
it
being
could be in
Craven.
Craven Origins.
Yeah, I just man, I'm cool with my villains being villains. They can have like you can give us a moral conundrum here and there, but like I'm cool with this nigga being a bad guy. I don't give a fuck about and I think I watched Craven under like very terrible pretenses because I also had just finished playing the Spider-Man game really late to the party, and I was like, oh yeah, Craven was walking niggas the fuck down this whole game, and then I watched this shit. I don't give a shit. They, all
I
these.
mean, I remember in a cartoon as a kid, there's a few parts where Craven teamed up with Spider-Man and kind of helped him out. But it was like, yeah, we're gonna work together, we're gonna do our thing. And we still don't fuck with each other too much, but like I'm gonna just go over here and you go over there, we can coexist. So I think they can give Craven kind of the anti-hero vibe because like I ain't a hero because I still kill niggas. But
Yeah,
at the
I was
same
waiting for that
time,
the whole
like,
time. They made him the great poacher defender. I was like, bro, this nigga be killing the fuck out the animals. That's how we get to Spider-Man. That nigga said, I done killed all the shit you can kill. Where the fuck is
now
this
wants
nigga?
to kill you.
Yeah, I'm like, cool, man. You could just make these motherfuckers evil, or whatever. Give them a little. I don't need everybody to be a fucking hero. Yeah, I don't want. I don't need to feel bad for these niggas. Like,
I mean, these days, they might be mad, Peter show up trying to protest the movie on the outside of theaters or something because they're mad that he's poaching animals or something. I don't know. People be worried about the wrong shit and not just creating the stories that we actually are looking for.
nobody has made me more like or nobody has made that point more evident. There's some of y'all out here that have just have you like it's just been so many fucking weird takes on Sinners. Spoiler a fucking alert. I feel like it's been a while since y'all got an episode. God damn it. It's spit
They
spat
seen it by now.
spoilers. You had
Yeah,
to.
they seen it by now.
Yeah. Off top, since we're in movie space, amazing. I've just seen but it's been long enough for now you start seeing motherfuckers just at this point I'm like, look, if you make your living off being just Captain Contrarian, I say that as I go look in the mirror every day. Um I don't know, man. Like, fuck off, man. What y'all got to be unhappy about? I thought, like, I didn't. I was expecting it to be good, but shit, nigga, I was fucking moved. My whole goddamn family didn't watch this movie at this point. And I see niggas up here. The thing that I walked out of Sinners. Okay, man, yo, y'all got to like. I promise you, God was not finna step out of heaven and condemn you and book your one way elevator trip to hell because you watched a movie about vampires. I promise you, like.
I've seen that a few times where people are like, I had to leave Sinners. It was just too dark for me. Like, what? What are you talking? The amount of fake Christian, fake religious, fake virtuousness that is floating around, polluting the ecosphere on social media. You motherfuckers, actually, normally I am the anti-religion guy within care and within respects. But for right now, I'm on religion side because religion don't tell you you got to do that. Y'all make personal choices to say that this is wrong or this is not godly or it's too dark or it's too. God is up there watching the movie, enjoying it, saying, I gave this nigga a lot of talent, and he's really using the abilities that I gave him. This is a wonderful film. I am glad that he is using these abilities, God-given abilities, to create such a wonderful film. And you come saying that's not godly. Okay, because he prayed to Satan to be able to make a movie.
Mind you, mind you, they're still winning. They're just fighting vampires, right? Because people, one, I feel like people was bullshitting on what they said they didn't like, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but they're just saying vampires is demonic and it's scary. Mind you, on this here good Sunday that everybody then took themselves to church and everything, we are by the book are rapidly, daily, hourly even hurling towards goddamn nightmare circus. I repeat, people, there are dragons coming. Oceans are gonna boil. Your grandma is gonna jump out that motherfucking casket and beat the shit out of you for hitherto who knows how long until it wraps up. Like the first act is absolutely the like. So what? Y'all, some vampires, nigga. If y'all motherfuckers don't know how to swing swords and axes, and yeah, what the fuck are y'all talking about? What you scared of, lady? Like it's every day y'all get in here and be like, we are on the way to when he comes back, and I can't wait. Listen here, man. He comes back on that type of time. Chief Keef is playing when the sky open up and Jesus comes back. That scene is fucking it's up, nigga. I don't know what fucking I paid attention in there. I don't know what book y'all read. It is up. Fuck them vampires. You better learn how to
I
fight.
don't, I don't even understand why they would see. Like I can understand in some instances in some movies how you can see vampires as demonic. That's just the romanticized portrayal, which part of you has to understand that this is fantasy. This is a portrayal, this is a story. They're made to look this way for a reason, especially because they're going to be the antagonist, and the protagonist has to look a particular way. And very rarely do you have the antagonist winning in a movie. So you know that the protagonist is going to come out on top. So even if they did represent something demonic, they're going to fall. So why wouldn't you allow yourself to just enjoy the movie knowing they're going to fall? One, in this movie, I can't even say that they are completely demonic because the first niggas he killed is clan members. Like, what is demonic about him coming in, killing clan members, and throughout the whole movie, they're saying fellowship and love. We're doing all this for fellowship and love, for all of us to come together. We want all of us to live in peace and harmony forever. You just got to die in order for us to live together forever. But we're not doing it out of hate. We're doing it because we want everybody to have love for each other. We don't care what race you are. Part of me, I remember my ancestors. I just want you to help me to get back to my ancestors. What is demonic about that?
Now, to me, that would seem like the parallels. Now if you just saying now if you said what you just said and you switched out vampirism for any number of other fucking organizations, I feel like that parallel probably hurt you in your heart a little bit. And that might have been why you walked out the movie. That shit really ain't had shit to do with no demon vampires biting no motherfuckers. You saw that parallel and you saw niggas whooping ass with hoodoo and shit and all the stuff that you said that niggas should
Mm.
do, knowing full well that your granny told you not to sweep them feet, not to step over somebody. If you put your purse on the ground right now, you hyperventilate. And them things are the things that won in the movie. Those things that are connected to traditional African spiritual practices. That's what won the film. Yeah, and we've been in. It's been we all everybody
Mhm.
got a lot of rhetoric about how that is the devil's work, but that's what
It's,
won.
it's the
That's
devil's work that hoodoo,
yeah,
voodoo,
yep.
being connected to the ancestors and Afrocentricity and all that other stuff that is counter to what we were told to do is the good guy and the vampire that knows the scripture better than anybody and the daddy pastor that tells you a sinner just for going to play music at a club for people that just want to have a drink after they didn't work all day and you shall, burn in damnation if you don't put a guitar down. Like those are the bad guys in the movie. Oh yeah, no, I can't watch this because that
You
is too much like me.
You walked in there absolutely ready to lust and bust slob over Michael B. Jordan, baby. Like,
Absolutely.
and
Two of
rightfully
them.
so.
Two Michael B's.
Two Michael B's. You went in there hot and heavy. And all of a sudden, Ryan Coogler get up there and start talking about Ibeji, and now it's over with. Now you can't come in. That nigga said the two twin Yoruba deities, and now you got to get the fuck out. You was in here throbbing.
You came to see the movie because he was in it. You didn't really care too much about the story. If we gonna be honest, you didn't care too much about the story. You came strictly because you wanted to see him. You heard he gonna have his shirt off. You heard it's gonna be two of him, and you're like, let me go ahead and watch this movie. And it's black. I could support that at the same time. Let me go watch. You lying to yourself, but that's just the hypocrisy that we got to deal with on a regular basis. We already know how that shit goes, so we're not even gonna argue about it. But if you walked out of the movie, whatever, they got your money already. You might as well just stayed and watched the shit. But at least thank you for supporting the community in some capacity. I guess you kind of support it financially.
Yeah, I see. I saw a few weird takes. I saw that. I saw like some um uh the TikTok is the best worst place ever now. Like I'm okay with it. I get a lot of news and shit there, a lot of little takes, little trendy shits, word to the youth. But there was even dudes up there like, it wasn't enough. I don't like this either. It wasn't enough vampire killing. I was like, look, bro, if y'all I'm okay now with just jumping to the conclusion of what I assume people's bullshit is. I'm gonna just throw assumption in there in air quotations. Oh, I just didn't think it was enough. Look, man, you walked in there and you saw, just I'm trying to be respectful to the actress, but this is my bag, man. I was getting it in the hoodoo shack. And y'all niggas don't like big black women. So, you was mad from top. And I don't trust you niggas. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what a nigga say it wasn't enough vampire. Shut up, bro. We didn't all watch, or maybe you didn't. We didn't watch Fruitvale, we didn't watch Black Panther, we didn't watch Creed. We knew we were getting. We knew we were getting some form of blackety blackness, and you came in and saw that it wasn't your blackety blackness. And I don't want to hear that shit. I don't give a shit. Shut up.
Yeah, I don't have time for it. But either way, I'll say 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people say that it's a 10 out of 10 movie. So y'all weird critique can fuck off in that regard. But I do like that the movie has people talking more about how much history he put into the movie. Like,
Hmm.
although it's a bit of a sci-fi movie, the fact that he put a lot of intricate detail into how things were during that time and historical references and context, which even if you don't like the spiritual aspect of things, you should be happy to watch something that shows you the reality of how shit was back then. But whatever, I guess y'all like spirituality more than history. That's a whole nother conversation. But I like how it has people talking about how much of our actual history and how things were is implemented in the movie. And that just shows like a good movie versus a not good movie is really the difference of research, like how much time you take to pay attention to. I want to write this story, which is great to have an imagination and create that story, but how can I back it with historical context or facts or things of that nature? So I like that it has people deep diving in that way and learning and seeing what he was accurate about, but everything else is kind of just reactionary based on emotions.
I thought that was like, I mean, overall, I thought that was one of my favorite parts. Like me and my sister were talking about it, and it was like, the way in which I feel like they put shit into the film where it speaks to the pain of us, but like there's always like a flip of it not being like trauma porn. Like it's being
Mm,
honest to the experience, but on the back end is like some cool shit. Even like that little tidbit, like I was, for everybody else out there, you all have family who came from the South and know those experiences. So I think there was something I saw on, it was an interview they were doing on the press tour or whatever, and they talk about Delroy Lindo scene in the car when they drive in to the
mhm.
when they pick him up, and that whole scene of him in the chain gang, him turning pain into a song. I was like, I've like physically witnessed like my grandfather have moments like that, like a moment like that, not a bunch, but like have a moment like that where it turned into something like funny, or it turned into a way that he like brought in something enjoyable to like mask pain. But like that scene was like powerful and spoke to pretty much like it's a good pretty telltale of like our experience here, but it wasn't like trauma pornish. I felt like it was enough to
Right.
be like, and speaking to like, I don't know, like the experience of black men with all the conversations around, word to us, mental health and how niggas have like learned to bottle or negatively process their emotions. Like this is as far back as that shit goes. Like some of that old timey horse shit wasn't really old timey horse shit. They put that shit in a bottle and put it in a song, and the rest of it was like, well, man, hands up in the air about how the fuck we can handle or process this shit, and but still not framing it as like I don't know, man. As Tyler Perry making fucking or whoever did that shit where Michael Ealy threw a baby out, like just making it like where pain is pain, but it's not like this nigga's a villain. Like you got to just deal with the oh yeah, this is a painful thing, and then I don't know how you could like process that. You leave a movie with ideals and it helps you kind of go about life in a different way. Word to art, but you didn't walk out going this terrible nigga, and then he did such a terrible thing that we never get to go through what puts a motherfucker in that spot. And I appreciate that because it's like, damn, man, I can't like you watch some of the other shit, not to put niggas against niggas, but that is always gonna be a wild scene to me.
I I was looking at it from the context of how important that was to highlight what the blues actually was.
Hmm.
And that just may be my take as far as say in the movie, past dad's a minister and he's looking at blues playing as a sin, let alone listening to it, let alone dancing to it, let alone going to a juke joint. But just playing the blues and all of this is sinful. It's not godly. It's not this and that's. It's not that. And you have Delroy Lindo's character kind of highlighting how, no, this is how we express our pain through the shit that we're going through.
Hmm.
Even having parts of people in the fields picking cotton, we're free. We're sharecroppers now. We're not slaves, and we're still out singing our way through this backbreaking work that we're doing. That's all that the blues is. When we have a certain pain, instead of expressing our emotions like we may talk about doing in today's time, it's going, mm, and then you start turning that into a song, and that's just you expressing your pain in a way that's not going to overcome you, but keeps you moving forward. So I look at it that way, as far as him highlighting what the blues is. Like, no, the blues is just expressing pain of a day-to-day thing that we go through that others may take out of context simply because they latching too hard to the cross and not paying attention to what we're actually doing culturally.
I thought about that. I thought about even that as like a such a you fuck around and have to take or we both taking like you take a fucking whole class or chapter or section just fully focusing on like what a somatic practice is and how that does and how that gets pain about your body. And I was like, nigga, these
Mhm.
motherfuckers just learn that shit off top. Like we're relearning shit that, you know, was already a practice and we kind of, not us necessarily, but you can kind of overlook that as just not a actual valid coping skill when used properly. Like sometimes it can be an escape, but a lot of times, nah, nigga, this is a A1 way to get this pain up out your body and process and work through it. And I thought, like, in my mind, I don't know if there's anything where he said this absolutely intentionally, but even that being a through line of even at the end where, because I remember I think like there was like my mom was like, me and my sister were kind of talking about to my mom about the understanding of why he didn't just let go of the guitar at the end. And I was like, well, I feel like that's a through line throughout the film of like, I'm not even gonna say just to kick flat out Christianity's back in, although it just feels like there's a lot of that in the film, but a way to be like not there's so much demonizing of things that we've done that were actually valid and useful and helpful and ways that we connect to our ancestors. So it's like, nah, the blues wasn't the thing that fucked us up. The music was the thing that actually helped us, like, Sammy's power and like Annie's knowledge of fucking our history is what got us through the fucking night. What fucked niggas up was, it's my vampire man who kind of was manipulating our stuff, and dropped his own good bar about I was walking in Ireland and I knew my own music and shit, and they came and robbed that shit of me. So,
I think that part went over a lot of people's heads, or at least they didn't catch it, because I didn't hear too many people talking about that part of where he's explaining, like people may have catch like I need your voice to help me reconnect to my ancestors because I'm trapped here, but they didn't realize he was saying, no, like this is how we connected to our ancestors, just like y'all. And they showed up and got rid of our music and gave us this fucking Bible. And that's how I know the culture and that's how I know these scriptures, just like you do. We knew
Hmm.
how to connect beyond this before they showed up and gave us this Bible, just like they gave y'all the Bible. So I know it back and forth, and I know it's actual horseshit. But at the same time, the scripture still helped me get through. I still like the scripture, but it's horseshit because they took our culture and gave us this bullshit instead. I don't think people really noticed that that's what he said.
I think like I've seen a few, and I'll say like I've seen like because I've been like this is one of those moments where I've been doing some comment surfing. And it is cool, I think, the conversations that this has sparked, because you'll see people that like have made posts about that, and you see in the comments it's like, shit, I completely missed that. Or people who caught it and might have not known that they or might not wanted to express that they caught it because you don't want to be too deep. That's another thing I do like about this film is like it seems to have promoted like people's like aversion to being overly analytical. Be like, nah, nigga, that's what this is for. This is, I don't know. I know we continuously make comparisons amongst niggas, but this is like very like Kendrick-esque film. Like, what did he mean by that? Like, fuck it, man. Let's go watch it again and put some more goddamn analysis to it. Um, but yeah, I can't find no faults in the film, man. From the super analytical parts to I was moved already off top, and I'm one of the ones that I see y'all also on the internets that were saying, I thought she was an auntie or I thought she was a mom. At best, we can give like maybe you got about a 30, 45 second window where you might have thought she was like a sister. But nah, man, we had the respectfully, we had the big heavies in the hoodoo shack that spoke to me on a spiritual level. Okay. So I was sold at my peak, my highest chakra to my lowest gutter, nigga. And I think I don't know, man. I think with Coogler, man, I think he's obviously a very, very like thoughtful and creative individual. But you ain't have to do that. You didn't have to get butt naked in the hoodoo shack. You didn't have to drool and spit. I see what type of time this nigga on, man, and I'm a fan.
Hey,
I support, yeah, duality, man. Yeah.
and consent, and
Yeah.
consent, because he
And
knows something wrong because she asked him, "Do you want some?" And he said, "Yeah." Yes.
yes, consent as a vampire. Vampire consent. Vampires all
Right.
about consent. Can I come in
It's
and
all
fuck you?
about consent.
Yeah.
Are you going to invite me in or not? You're not going to invite me in, then fine.
Yeah, yo. And not all this, you see what I'm saying? Like, and it shows, man. Cause that's how your fucking uncles and grandmas and shit, that's how they was looking. And that lady, that woman grabbed that nigga by the neck and the balls and said, your motherfucking, your body ain't forget me, nigga. I'd have folded like a piece of paper. Piece of paper, wallet, envelope. My clothes would have exploded off my body. Yeah. In front the motherfucking altar in here. Absolutely.
But that's true love. After 7 years and a lost child, I still love you. You still love me. And she's like, Tell me the truth. Let's actually work through it in this moment." It wasn't no long think piece, but it's like, you want me to say it? Yes, nigga. Tell me why you really here. You ain't come here to ask me to cook no fish. What
Hmm.
is it that you really want? I still love you. And it just hurts to be emotional expression, which y'all say that men don't have vulnerability. And it's showing you that since the early 1900s, men have been finding ways to be vulnerable. It's just sometimes me being vulnerable is not the best for me or for us. But since you asked for it, here it is. Actually, even with that, I had a few people, I saw it a couple times, uh, but watching it the first time, it's like, see, that's what I like. Like, the person I went to watch it was like, I like that. I like that it shows that with Cornbread, like he's out there next to his wife working. I don't like that a lot of these women act like we weren't with our husbands in the fields working alongside them and it was just men doing the work on their own. you get to see that me and my wife are both out here working for the household, doing everything together. And I was like, huh, a little high five to you for catching that. But are you stewing? I want to let you stew. Go ahead and stew.
The fuck? What else? What else I got? What else, dog? What else? I know that I've crashed out. I got at least 20 episodes crashing out on this exact fucking topic. Even to the fucking even the I don't have no way to fucking rhyme octoroon. But even her, man, even though it got her turned into a vampire, that motherfucker said, "Give me that goddamn gun so I can go help." Because we're a fucking team. Did it turn out the best? You can't account for vampires, nigga. And
No,
and even still look at the motherfuckers throughout the centuries. Said, fuck it, we locked in, god damn it. You ain't see her going, well, I wish you would just go out and grab us some fucking no, let's go out and hunt together. I know they had a loving murderous fucking relationship. That motherfucker said, y'all, it's I see what y'all post, man. Y'all saying it was beautiful. Y'all would not spiritually wait on smoke to fucking smoke some goddamn races with the spirit baby on your titty. You wouldn't do that. You'd be somewhere in
no,
heaven saying, catch up, nigga. Nah, she
they
died and
wouldn't.
just lingered.
They wouldn't even do what she did. She said, "How do you not know that I wasn't sitting here praying for you and your crazy brother every day to make sure y'all get home? You not here. You didn't left me. Our baby done died. I know you love me and and I love you too, but you ain't here and I don't know if you ever coming back. But I'm praying for you every day for your safety, for you to be okay. Y'all won't do that.
She let that nigga grieve his kid. And I ain't saying it's the best go. I'm not saying that this specific action is the best action to go about it, but the ways in which that y'all be identifying, I just want everybody to examine, like, is it really you? If it's you, God bless you, and I want you to continue on your way. But I see y'all. And I crashed out about this in my story, but I'm gonna crash out about this here because clearly this is a movie that we all enjoy. And I'm seeing this trend already starting. I want this shit nipped in the fucking bud. And if it don't, I just want to be on record that I was a nigga who wanted it nipped in the fucking bud. Is y'all are starting this shit, and I'm seeing it on the internets where it is like some shit that was like all the lover girls hearing this in the theater, and it's the part where Stack was like, "I love you, and I think about you every day." And it's like, shut the fuck up, bro. You're not a love girl. You're an asshole. The reason, like this is not you. Like the reason your ego wants a nigga to say that to you, and you have not yet identified the fact that you are an asshole and have made that nigga, you didn't make nobody, he made choices, but you have contributed to that nigga shutting himself down around you. And more than likely, y'all should probably, figure out some other shit. But you're not a lover girl. You're a dickhead.
No.
Your ego is saying, I would like a nigga to say this to me, and in no way have any of the merry fucking attributes that would make a nigga want to say that to him. And I'm not even getting started on any. All right, it's if it's 100 of y'all in the sound of my voice, it's 90 of you motherfuckers got some Annie in you, and I'll fight about that. All
Oh,
right,
absolutely. Absolutely. But
nine.
for either of them, even though she may not have been the best partner, but for him it worked. But he's like, I'm keeping you away because one, you somebody else. You went and you married a white man and you doing all this stuff. And I'm trying to keep you safe. Because if the people are in here that don't know you like we know you, if they catch wind of this, they gonna whoop your ass. So I'm only doing this not because I don't love you, but because I want to protect you. If you're not a lover girl, because you don't understand how he may keep you at a distance for your best interest. Had she actually listened to that nigga and just got on the train, she might have lived and could have enjoyed a happy life with her white man and her little white baby later on. But you get to live in eternal damnation since, we're demonic because we're vampires. You get to live in eternal damnation with me and wear Coogee sweaters,
And
60,
even
70.
listen, even still, I make that a positive because you know how you get that? You get that by getting that gun, going outside, being a fucking rider. It's
Oh,
dangerous.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
fucking
that's protection for him as well that they've missed. Like they'll talk to me differently than they talk to you because I look like them. They don't know I'm black. They just know that I look like them. So they probably assume I'm white. They gonna give me more information. Let me go figure out how we can get this money in a certain way to we how we can get this money because you need it. Y'all in the hole. Y'all gonna be struggling, and I know you done did some shit that you ain't supposed to do to get here, but I want to support you because I love you. Let me go put myself on the line to help you out. You not that type of lover girl. You're the lover girl that Drake talking about. That's why y'all keep using that goofy ass terminology because that's where you got it from.
Boy, shout out to shout out to Perlene's husband. Shout out to Mary's husband. This husband's getting dipped.
Oh yeah,
Cornbread's wife. Fuck.
you got your wife took by somebody that's younger than you simply because he know how to eat a little bit of coochie on top of a bag of flour.
Hey man, look, I can't even deny that. You know what I'm saying? I know niggas probably had their own cheater rhetoric, and I'm not a fan, but I don't support y'all who don't put your mouth on people. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Preacher Boy. Preacher Boy got him a little ate him a little
Got
coochie and said, Hey
just a
man,
little
look.
taste.
And that man had the night of his life. And said, was it a little dangerous? Yes. Am I going back to this church? Absolutely not. I had amazing outside of the vampires time of my life.
Right.
That nigga was old with the scars and said, all things
I,
considered, it's the
I still
best day of my
best fucking
motherfucking
day
life.
of my life.
My whole
Best
family fucking died in this bitch. And it was
best fucking day of my like I still enjoyed myself. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all, but
oh
I
man.
thoroughly enjoyed myself. He has had enough time to thoroughly eat enough ass in all those years, and he still said, you know what? This day, that little
Yeah.
nibbling that I got to do on that day,
Set him on his
hey,
way, man. Little catfish, little coochie. That shit'll
that's
cha- shit'll change your life.
hey man, that's culture for us.
Yeah, come on, man.
But it's demonic, so don't do it. It's gonna taint your soul. It's so dark. Oh, it's low vibrational energy. It's gonna mess up your chakras if you
Yeah, man.
whatever.
So I don't know, man. Shout out to Smoke. Shout out to Stack. I just and I feel like you have to do as best you can if you're gonna dibble dabble. You got to do a little stackness. Do not do no Shannon shit though, because that's that's not good. That's very not okay. Um,
If you gonna mess with the white women, at least let it be a white woman that's your age that is, similar to what you saw in the movie, but not an OnlyFans movie because he went seeking a superior, not superior, but a really young OnlyFans white woman. Like, why would you do that to yourself, Shannon? Like, not to say that it's not consensual or he's wrong in that regard. I think you wrong because you went for somebody what 30 plus years younger than you. That's the OnlyFans model and a white woman. You got 30-year-old OnlyFans women that would probably do nastier stuff for cheaper. Or maybe even for free, or whatever the case is, but putting yourself in harm's danger, especially like you're about to get more money and you're making lose more money decisions. That's the issue for me. I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
that's a oh man, absolutely chaotic freak ass boy, and I'm pretty staunch on my stance about the age shit. And it's crazy. That's another crazy thing about, get your fucking popcorn, ladies. This is kick niggas back in time, okay? So if you was waiting on it, this is your fucking moment because literally the week prior, as you know, we've been living live, man. We've been living doing our careers. So we've been out for a minute. The way that I saw motherfuckers just fucking churning up for Tracy Ellis Ross, just mentioning that she dates younger. We didn't get no fucking name. We didn't get no number on it. We didn't get none of that. She just simply mentioned that there is misogyny and heavy patriarchal views in niggas in her age bracket, which are in their 50s, which is accurate. We can get into the reasons why, but it is accurate. And then niggas had think pieces. I saw no less than five. I don't even know these fucking pods. I watched that pod of her and Michelle Obama. The algorithm started kicking the Tracy Ellis Ross shit. It was five different fucking pods, and it was and niggas had they fucking. We gonna start doing that, because you just put a fucking image and it's just your face up there, just like. And niggas was ready. I have not seen none of them motherfuckers talk about the Shannon shit, or it's in some extra extreme like, well, it's a shakedown. I don't give a fuck, because 54, 6, whatever, with a motherfucker 20 now, but was 19 at the start, you're a freak ass nigga, and I don't feel bad. I don't give a shit what she does, because you went in that shit open eyes, and according to them text messages, open ass. You went, you was in that motherfucker forwards and backwards, and it I can do some deep thinking about it, but I just don't feel bad. I don't want anybody to, go to jail, and I don't want anybody to have been assaulted, but I just you too goddamn old and big to be moving crazy like that, my boy. This is such a fucking ridiculous. It was just like, even in one of the phone calls, she's like, I don't want to be choked. And this nigga just still continuing the conversation. I was like, all right, man. At this point, I ain't never seen a motherfucker in my life just want to get caught up. All right, cool. Because you on some outrageous shit. That the
You, I
do
don't
you
care what the relationship is. However freaky we may have been talking to a certain point for whatever particular reason. If at any point in time you sit here and you try and tell me you don't want to do something that we already been doing, something ain't got something can't be right. This has got to be wrong. Because before you was completely okay with this, and now you're not okay with this. Yeah, no, I don't care if you joking or not. I'm not about to feed it. I got to go. Matter of fact, delete my number. We don't have nothing to discuss any further because I'm not doing this with you. I don't know what you own, but I'm not doing this with you.
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't even try to be like, full Umar, you love who you love. I'm not even going crazy like that. But I will say that I feel like there are certain stipulations that I would put on an interracial interaction, relationship, whatever. And the minute, and I mean, baby, the absolute second, I don't give a fuck the scenario. The minute you tell me you want me to put a big black baby in you, I'm gonna snatch my dick back like a purse. Give it fucking here. What are you talking about? What? What the fuck are we? What? And I don't like that Shannon did some sneaky shit, just put her shit out. What did you say back to this nigga? She said, I want to eat your ass and then marry you. And you was, she said, I want you to put a big black baby in me, and then said 25 grand a cheek. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I've been a regular motherfucker my whole life. Ain't saying I got fucking Hall of Fame numbers, but you know what I'm saying? I've lived my life. 25 grand for some ass? Look here. After I have watched cinematic masterpieces of love in the fucking hoodoo shack, spitting in my mouth with the fucking party going on downstairs. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Disrespectful. What the fuck? Come on, man. And this is my thing. This is what I'm saying. This why right here, this Shannon shit is why that moment in that car when Delroy was fucking going through his traumas. That's why that scene is so important, because Shannon got some shit he done gone through. Shannon has some insecurities to process, because you just don't move like this. If I'm a Hall of Famer, I repeat, I am a regular, degular, everyday man, an active mental health professional, associate therapist. I'm really proud of myself. The level of confidence I have for me, I don't really need all that, baby. Like, we could just be regular. I don't need that level of fucking weird conversation to feel big in the fuck space, unless I come from, and I'm just speculating, deep south, dark skinned brother, the way the south works in the dark skinned spaces, the way somebody might have talked crazy to you about having a lisp. You might have a couple of complexes around here. You also, as he always tells us, we was in a one shack with an outhouse. And now that I'm a millionaire, and even how he discusses shit on his show, it's very much so I'm operating from a space of lack. If I'm doing that, I'm in that headspace so fucking often, and that impacts my decisions. Now, I'm not saying this shit is an excuse. I just want to make some fucking conversation for y'all to listen to, because that nigga still moving crazy, and I'm what the fuck.
I mean, I still couldn't justify because even if you're moving in your insecurity, your status gives you access to better, right? Because I ain't really paid attention to her. I think I've seen little like
It ain't enough. We can
pictures
we
of
can
her in the corner. Yeah,
we
I
can be
don't know what she looks
superficial.
like, but
It
just
ain't
a
enough.
little. I'm not even being superficial, but like if you are a Hall of Famer, you've been a Hall of Famer for years. It ain't like you just got in the Hall of Fame. You've been a Hall of Famer for a minute. You've had money for a minute. You've been doing commentating and analyst work and coming up with your own stuff. Like it's Club Shay Shay maybe like, a year, but you've been an analyst for years. You've been making money for you're a Super Bowl winner, you're a Hall of Famer. You mean to tell me you ain't never been in a room with something better than that and had access to it that was older, that wasn't trying to like, I want you to put a baby. If anybody at the time that is still has a teen on the end of their age tells me they want a baby from me, that's an automatic setup. That's an automatic setup. And you supposed to be somebody that's giving out game and talking all this stuff on the nightcap. You couldn't say one, you are an OnlyFans sex worker, which is great. That's what you want to do. More power to you. You with the debauchery. That's all fine and great. But for that to be your profession at 19 and you tell me you want me, a solidified Hall of Famer with lots of money that I've had for longer than you've been alive, probably, and you want me to put a baby in you, and that didn't make you say, you know what? I'm gonna hook you up with one of my young homeboys. I'm not about to do. I don't have to be here. Like I can't. We get to see, especially in the rap world, how a lot of them cycle the same women, right? Fucking Brittany Renner is, Kevin
She's
Gates'
sitting she's sitting
sanctified
courtside
wife.
with she's sitting courtside with Kevin Gates in full Muslim gear.
Yeah, I don't. Why this nigga has on a button up with no shirt under.
Yo. Ah,
Anywho,
shit.
anywho, but like she's ran the gamut with a few different people, right? We grew up during the Superhead era. Corinne Steffens ran the gamut. Like all of these guys kind of circle the same on cycle the same women and still to this day like they're still probably dating and recycling the same people just like oh I used to be married to her and now I'm dating this person, right? And that's women that still look better than her even though she's 21 now and they're in their late 30s early 40s or whatever the case is. You cannot tell me that you couldn't find somebody that's going to take it in the ass and eat yours and all this other stuff with less risk and not have to pay as much. Because even a lot of them, it's like, I don't, you ain't even got to pay me. I've established myself. I just want you to like fund the lifestyle. Do it. And we can do this if you pay for a trip. If we go on this trip together and you handle and take care of the cost, then yeah, we could do all the freaky shit you want for this week or this weekend. Or, if you do this business deal for me, have me on Club Shay Shay and you can spit in my ass all you want to, but just have me on there. I can talk about my book and all this other stuff and get some heat and some notoriety around me. And then that's our transaction. And it's so much less of a risk for you. You can't tell me you don't have those opportunities.
That's what
How
made
do
me
you
think.
still decide like
See, shit like that is what make me think like, okay, you are on some different freaky type of shit. And it's just, I don't know, man, like this is why like I just realized, man, I'm just horny. I know I've said this before. I'm just a nasty nigga because like it's levels of freakiness that are tied to traumas that I just don't have. Because the way that this, I'm like, the only way this makes sense, it makes sense in regards to like just understanding the motivations in my mind, is this is bigger than Nino Brown, nigga. This is bigger than just busting off. You need very specific shit that you only thought this weird motherfucker was gonna do. And that stems from other shit. Cause you know, yeah, like I just everybody eating ass. You could have got your ass ate and got up in somebody else's ass. Honestly, just for the love of the game. If you just fucking with the right motherfuckers, man, it's a motherfucker that work at Costco getting his ass ate. Like I just, yeah, that's crazy. I just
I I don't even want to blame it on freaky shit. I know you said, being you just a different type. No. We've had this conversation and even in private. we know people, and I have been in certain spaces with individuals that are in the kink community. I advocate for people in the kink community. I talk about all the BDSM and all that. There are so many different spaces that have celebrities because I know people that are in the spaces and be like, yeah, I've seen this celebrity and that celebrity. They come in there and we respect their privacy, we respect their space, we let them do their thing, and we treat them like regular ass people because they trying to get their freak in without any, disclosure of what they doing.
Hmm.
If you really on some freak shit, there's plenty of spaces that you can go that will protect your identity a whole lot more. Where all you really got to do is pay an entry fee and just be a nice motherfucker. And they're going to be like, oh, you want to dangle me from the ceiling and fuck my mouth? I was been wanting somebody to do that the
Came
entire time. I'm glad you're
specifically
here
came here for
tonight.
that purpose.
We specifically came here for that, and it's not an issue, and nobody's allowed to have their phones. Nobody can disclose what's going on in here. Everybody's signing consent forms and waivers, and they've been vetted and all this other stuff. You are way more protected in those environments to do some freaky, nasty shit, and maybe even take it outside of those spaces if you build the relationships, right? Why do y'all keep getting caught up with some young money? You know that's all cheap. How do you? I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm not supposed to understand because it's job security for me. Y'all keep doing the dumb shit because at some point it's just gonna help make my pockets fatter because y'all gonna need to talk to somebody when you navigating through this silliness because you keep making dumb decisions. At some point, I'm normally an advocate for like you can change and grow at any and every age in your life, but at some point, certain decisions you should be too old to make certain mistakes over
Yeah,
and over.
yeah, because
Like doing
yeah,
that at 30, I can understand. But if you about 60 and you still come on now. If you did that with a 30-year-old woman, I'd let it slide. You got caught up with a 30-year-old woman and you was trying to do some freaky shit with her and she just trying to take you to the cleaners for some money. I get it. You still in your age bracket to a degree. That but a 20-year-old,
yeah. I
I
don't,
work with adolescents. You work with adolescents to a
I could.
degree as
I'm on record with why I have a number of reasons why I don't fuck with the teen, this, that, and the third. I've even expanded my shit because at first when the conversation was going on about the Tracy Ellis Ross thing, I had watched like two pods talk about it. One was complete horse shit. Three because I watched the Joe Budden and them talk about it and they did their thing, and then there was another one and I wish I remember the fucking name, but they were expressing in the interview about like conversations she's had because I haven't watched, fuck stupid me. I haven't watched the fucking interview with her and Michelle Obama. It was nowhere near as bad as people tried to make it, but whatever, salacious. And there was somebody said somewhere I heard the bar about her saying like her window of dating is like 10 years. So if she's 50 something, date somebody 40, I'm like, that's a grown ass adult with another grown ass adult. If
right.
you're getting into the, and I saw it made me think about, because I know I've crashed out on here about like you should never. But I was like, you know what? If you're in the age of a grown ass, grown up, still fucking a little weird, but or opportunistic or whatever. But if you're adult enough to make that choice, if you're 30 and you fucking with a rich nigga who's 60, we know the dynamics of that. And y'all are adults to make that choice. Anything teen or like early 20s, even latter 20s, I find you to be a fucking weirdo. And I'm not getting off that fucking hill. If you're 50 something fucking with anybody teen, if you 50, nigga, I feel like your cutoff should be like if you just want to be a fucking cradle snatcher, you can fucking dabble in the 30s. And I'm still gonna look at y'all's dynamic as questionable, but that's not my fucking business. You
Right.
get you get down in the teens, boy, and I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like even outside of him, I don't know niggas friends, but niggas is a bit too accommodating. Cause if me and my nigga is fucking 50 something and we at the bar or at the fucking little barbecue and he pull up with a fucking 19-year-old, 20-year-old, we got to have some fucking words, big dog. What are you talking about? My daughter's this age. Let's fight, nigga. Are you crazy? Like,
I don't feel comfortable. I barely feel comfortable talking to 27-year-old. Like 29, cool. 28, 27, and that's just roughly 10 years younger than me. How do y'all to your point? And granted, we not there yet, right? I'm just barely about to enter 40, so I'll see how this goes at 60. Because I'm sure we all gonna have an experience with somebody that your homeboy's dating younger because they didn't got divorced or the lady died, whatever the case is. I don't know. We don't know how the future happens, but I'm sure in my 60s, you may come across somebody that's like, "Hey, yeah, this is my new lady. Oh, got your little young thing, huh? Yeah. How young we talking? Okay, she 22.
Bro,
Hey,
I'm barely getting a handle on this brain mouth filter now. I'm not getting better as I get older. What the fuck is this? Like you fucking like I'm yeah, I'm crash out. Like what do you come on, man.
it, it I couldn't understand, but I thought if I understand it or justify it, if it's a escort type, you paid for some ass and she's selling it, and you just found you or whatever, you found you a hooker, a sex worker, whatever word you want to use, right? And you just pay her for her services, and she just happens to be 2021. Okay. But
Wait.
like being in a relationship,
Is
I,
this
I
wait, is this still the backyard barbecue scenario? Because if a nigga bring an escort to my house, nigga, my wife is here.
hey no, it can still be the barbecue scenario because honestly, you would be surprised how common that is, where the dudes just want companionship and partnership.
Ooh.
Not to like have a partner, but like I'm 60. I don't want some 60-year-old woman with me. So yeah, I fund her lifestyle or I take care of it. That's the whole sugar daddy or sugar mama
Oh
situation, mostly
man.
sugar daddy situation. You will glorified escort at that point. Like you're not really in a relationship with him. He takes care of a lifestyle or pays you or gives you an allowance for the ability to have you around to do everyday shit with him. So there's plenty of older dudes that bring their young thing to the barbecue, and that's not like you ain't about to settle down and have a life with her. You paying her for access to have her around to make you look and feel good, and she keeps me young. Like you paying for that access, but you ain't settling down and setting roots with this young lady. That's not what's happening. So you'd be surprised how many women are taking those trips to Dubai on somebody's dollar because you just a glorified escort.
Do
We
do
joke about it, but that's what it really is
do do baby. Ooh.
to a degree. But I mean, even some of the I'll see you talked about different podcasts. I've seen some of the podcasts of girls that are OnlyFans workers, sex workers, or whatever in some capacity, and they talk about how like, yeah, he paid me to do X, Y, and Z, or he pays me just because he wants to be around me. He wants somebody to take a trip with him and he wants something young. And all I really do is I may get naked a couple times. I may give him a hand job or just massage him or whatever. But I get to enjoy these things and have an allowance and some money in my pocket strictly because he wants somebody young to travel places with him and keep him company.
God, that sounds
Right?
terrible. Ugh.
Yeah, but that's escorting for the most part. You're trading your time for money.
I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about the nigga who, because I mean, again, I'm I like all the ass, all the breasts, but also like, yeah, I would like to hang out with this motherfucker. If I'm ever at the point where I'm just like paying for company, that shit, I don't care how niggas cut that onion. That shit sounds fucking depressing. I haven't experienced this, but I see whether it's friends, my own parents. Like I see the joy of like what the family unit should be looking like. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. Like if it's between that and me staying like a just regular solid nigga, or hey man, you could be a gajillionaire, but you gotta be one of these lonely fuckers, man, hand me this regular paycheck. That shit sounds nutty.
I'll shoot them a little bail, playing devil's advocate only because when it comes to dating, that's what they expect us to do in the first place. Like we're talking about people that have the money and they're of higher age range messing with younger women, and that's just the space that they're in. But when we talk about the dating scene and people's perspectives and ideologies around dating, they expect us to do the same thing. We're paying for their time, their attention, and their company. That's how a lot of people have these expectations around dating. You should be taking me to these types of restaurants. You should be doing these types of things. You should be bringing me flowers and all this other stuff for just dating. I don't know you. We're supposed to be in a mutual space getting to know each other, but you should be doing these lavish or extravagant things in order to have access to my time and my company. We have a lot of people that are taking their dating partnership as a situation that is supposed to be navigating towards that and us learning to be interdependent with each other and collaborate with each other to create life. But we're bringing a lot of escort values into that space.
I
So I give them some bail because at least the old dude, like you pay her not to come, you pay her to leave. And that's what you do with the young girl. Like you giving her that money so she don't stick around, right? But the flip side of it in dating as a regular person, you're paying me to stick around.
yeah, I think and I think it works, or how do I say this? Because I feel like I've dabbled in this point, or we've dabbled in this point on the pod space. I think there definitely should be more rhetoric around um as niggas or maybe people connecting the dots, because as motherfuckers move through this, I'm breaking down the patriarchy, I'm getting rid of this misogyny and shit. Like I feel like niggas have to get to also the space of, because contrary to me, the crash out on this show, I'm not moving this way like in my life. I don't give a fuck what you niggas do, and I think I support niggas doing that, because the dude, the I just looked it up, like the money dude that we see a lot of times on Instagram, like John Hope Bryan, I think is his name,
Mhm.
talks a lot of the money stuff. Even he had this post. It was earlier this I think I looked at it yesterday. So let's say like maybe he posted yesterday, but I just know I saw it yesterday. But there was somebody discussing like I don't know, there's like a woman and she was like, I want a man to make $200,000 and that's what I'm looking for. And he like broke down how rare that is in general, how rare that is amongst our community. I saw another post maybe a couple weeks ago that discussed like how much, like the percentage of us as a whole that make like deep into the six figures. And it was like something like 6%. So, everybody in Atlanta with a boutique is not a fucking millionaire, you know what I'm saying? So just like changing that framework, and like there's just too many statistics out here. And it's like even like how we tied it to fucking like the in the beginning about sinners, and like the partnership is the goal, and like partnership looks like partnership, not these weird way that we formulate these roles. I say all that to say is like niggas have to, I support niggas get into a headspace where it's like, I'm always down to have the conversation, but in my actual life, as soon as you start saying that shit, it takes nothing for you to just register, oh, this is not for me, and go about your day. You don't got to get mad about it. You definitely don't have to listen to Andrew Tate and them. Just you are well within your rights, my boy, to have the standards of this, to that, to whatever, and you can stand on that. Like, learn to fucking, I don't know, semen retention, jack off, do some fucking, get a hobby. Like, if you just have the moments where if you, and because I'm not outside, I don't know what the fuck the dating space looks like. To be completely honest with you, I don't know what the fuck goes on outside. But I imagine if it's anything remotely like, well, fuck, I don't know. It's clearly not, because the internet tells me every day that it's not. Like, I was the last, like, I remember when the club stopped being the club. I was there. I remember it was lit and we were still listening to fucking Problem tell us about Molly, and they were still fucking throwing ass. And then poof, one day you go in there and everybody was taking pictures and shit. And I was like, okay, wrap this up. So whatever way it looks like to go out fucking and talk to like normal people, you can have like normal fucking standards. As soon as somebody starts talking to me like you want us to act like Quakers, but somehow you get to have bags, and like it's cool. Like you could just I hope that for you. When you find that, I'm gonna find Middle Earth and fight with fucking Legolas. Like whenever you find that scenario, I'll find fucking, fairies and shit, and I'll get to have a sword or a goddamn battle hammer that does magical shit. So I wish you the best. And I just feel like niggas have to move into that space where like you're not being fucking irrational, do the therapy, do the self-work, and get rid of your misogynist, patriarchal, whatever bullshit in relationships. But once somebody tells you crazy shit, bro, it's cool. Like you could just fucking take a step away and go do anything the fuck else. As soon as you tell me some dumb shit, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Respectfully, And I don't have no beef with you. I think you're cool in these spaces, and this is the space where we will hang out at, or not. But this is it. Like
Yeah,
I think niggas should be more honest about how little, because the more you fuck around and let a nigga talk honestly, and he's taking off that bravado shit and being fucking honest, it's like how much of it is like, well, nigga, I'm not necessarily a like I had that moment. Like it was like I'm not even necessarily opposed to any of this relationship shit or whatever shit. I just realized that like this is not that beneficial. So ass is cool. And maybe you move into a more mature space, you just want to bypass it all altogether. But I don't really want to just, I don't want to just have sex. I just realized it's kind of the only place that we're fucking locking in at. So
yeah,
appreciate you.
yeah. Uh, as we've said a number of times on here, just the importance of us as men having enough value in ourselves to walk away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we have that yet, which is why we have a Shannon type situation to where we can't just, oh yeah, I don't have to do this. I don't have to be here. Like self-preservation. I value myself enough to make sure that I'm putting myself in situations that help me grow or be better or be safe. We're so used to being protective of other people from both smoke and stack to a degree. Like I value everybody else so much that I'll sabotage myself for the benefit of other people, or even just to gain some small value in the grand scheme of what I'm risking for my own self. We got to have a certain level of value to where we can walk away.
Hmm.
Like to your point of like, yeah, it's okay if she starts saying the crazy shit. You can find better, dog. You can find somebody that likes to anime swords and shit, just like you, with probably a fatter ass and will do nastier shit. If you just walk away from this girl and not tell yourself you have to, I have to jump through hoops for the appeasement of this. I I've gotten to a point, especially now, where like I can find you attractive and be cool with you, but the second you start talking Christianity, we can't be partners. Just because I'm not going to be religious again. It's not even that I hate Christianity. It's just that I'm not religious. And if you're super religious, we can't connect on a partner level. And I can still be cool with you. I can still go on friend dates with you and have a relationship with you and all that other stuff. But as far as partners, we're not in alignment in that area. But there's so many of us that don't value ourselves enough to walk away when we see something that's seemingly small that doesn't align with this person. We just gotta force it with this individual, as opposed to not even just walking away. You can just find different ways to have a relationship with this person that doesn't have to fit the norm of making them a partner or chasing them down when they're not in alignment with you in the first place. But that's on us, as we've talked about on here and offline, of like, we don't value ourselves enough to just walk away and be like, no, I'm cool. You can keep it. It's all good. I ain't got to have it.
Yeah, I think there's definitely needs to be like, and I know it's, word to me having a career. And I understand that's a tough journey, but I do think niggas have to start having the conversation and, unpack that shit. Like, nigga, it's scary. It's lonely. If you could just say you're fucking lonely, you have made leaps and bounds as to what is pressing you to fucking do this thing, or fucking ego. That's a baddie right there. And a baddie makes me more look like XYZ to the motherfuckers in my life. Niggas and or women, or I'm trying to prove something to myself. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, like pretty early on. Cause I know that I've like I here we go, man. We call this self-disclosure in the field to make us have a little bit of a connective moment. You can fully, I've had moments where it's like, yeah, I see this is not like some good shit. And being okay with the fact of whether it's that protector shit that you got to work through, of you don't have to protect this person's feelings and their perception of you when you go, this right here is some pretty staunch shit. Like you said, the religious shit. Even if you are Captain Christianity, she's Muslim, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, I know you might be trying to weak it, but also that could just be a deal breaker. Deal breakers, aren't bad in and of themselves. Deal breakers are bad when they are steeped in that bullshit of, I ain't never had a home cooked meal when I come home. Great. But, she has a really good job and she helps you like fund this thing here. So like we can figure out how to fucking cook. We all I repeat, I'm gonna say this so I'm fucking blue in the face. We all have access to these fucking food creators. I got a lot of shit in my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get home first, figure it the fuck out. Go
Yeah.
to work, nigga.
Uh, quick point. Like you mentioned, the Christian and the Muslim, and like the quick thought of like, well, maybe I can. That part we have to be aware of as well, of like thinking that because I want this person, maybe I can convert them or get them to change themselves. You're already starting the relationship off, even if you haven't talked to this person and presented yourself. I know this person's this and I'm that. Maybe I can change or convert them. You already moving against what your religions are supposed to speak about in the first. You're not accepting this person for who they are. You're moving in a selfish, egotistical way, thinking that you can change this person to be who you want them to be because what you think is more virtuous than what they've chosen for themselves. That's
Hmm.
already starting a relationship off on a bad foot. And I don't mean like a bad habit, like they smoke or they don't
Hmm.
go to the gym. And like I can help them understand the benefits of doing this thing for themselves. But something large like that, oh, she don't want kids. I can convert her, and at
Yep.
some point I can make her want to have kids. No, like certain stuff, if you don't accept that person for who they are in that space, either leave the situation or transition the relationship into something that's more palatable for you both, which may mean, we can just be friends, or shout out to non-monogamy. Hey, we don't have to be partners in this regard. I love you and we just don't match in this area. So you may not be the person that I marry or that I have a family with or that I live in the same house with, but we can still
Oh.
date and you can date other people. There's so many different ways to do this shit. But I was actually having a conversation with somebody about this in the gym earlier because she's like, yeah, it does get lonely sometimes because she's not a fitness influencer or competitor, but she's like super fit, and she's like, yeah, I can't hang out with certain people that don't go to the gym. Like, I don't have any friends that don't work out or don't go to the gym. We're not in alignment there. I can't even be friends with you. Like, I don't have friends that we want to go out to eat all the time because I can go grab me a couple steaks and some this and some that and go to the house and make it myself. And it's way healthier for me and it keeps me focused on my goals. I can't kick it with friends that want to be super foodies and go out and eat a whole bunch of unhealthy shit. So it does get lonely because this is what I'm choosing for my life for longevity, and other people choose against that. And I respect that, but I can't spend a lot of time on it. Like she's making that sacrifice
Hmm.
for herself because this is where I am mentality wise. We encourage women to do that, but we don't talk about men doing the same thing. We talk about men doing that from the sake of getting money so that they can have access to more women, not doing that for yourself. Like, hey, sometimes you got to move away from friends and all of that strictly because, hey man, I want to be, as much as I don't want to use this example, but I want to be raw vegan. So I can't hang out with people that are super carnivore, right? Like I
Hmm.
can be friends with them, I can love them, I can support them, but we clearly can't go out to restaurants together because we don't have the same dietary restrictions. So we can kick it and watch the game together, but I can't go out to eat with you and have lunch with you unless we just gonna have plain coffee or something like that, whatever. But it's like sometimes you do have to, I got to put myself in environments that are in alignment with what I actually want as opposed to chasing down some shit for whatever superficial purpose.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I think that my little, or I guess my little quirk, or like the way I critique that is because niggas only allow, kind of piggybacking off on what you said, niggas only allow themselves to have that or are loud about it when they are still riding for like the heavy fucking hyper masculine shit. Like I got my values and goals, but they're just, what's that nigga, the nigga with the water who was running top speed? Like they only use that when you're doing that nigga type shit, as opposed to, well, if it's important to you, okay, like I'll use my people pleasingness. Like I'm game geek or whatever. But clearly, as this conversation, even we talking about the centers or whatever, that could turn into some shit mentally stimulating. We've connected, blah blah blah. You see, mad of like you said, the gamer couples. If I'm gonna use that example, it be niggas. I'm like, a lot of you niggas want to be that, or you want to talk to. You're a super sports dude. Now, if she don't know sports, cool. But if she would be into, you watch the game with me, that's a level where you would connect. And the nigga be like, you're actually missing out on core things that you need to connect in a relationship. But the only way you know to get better and focus and remove obstacles is when it looks like a motherfucker doing some shit. Nigga, you don't chop wood and you don't fucking go outside and bench press bears. Like you're a geek and you would like a geeky motherfucker, or you're super into, I don't know, Ottoman history. And she's never asked you a question about that and won't engage with it. And you're like, oh, it's such a quirky thing. Nigga, you're miserable. So you even niggas even getting out of those like traditional spaces for themselves. Cause nigga, it doesn't look like you getting up at 4 a.m. doing 40 push-ups and y'all never talk, but she makes you steaks and shit. You're still fucking miserable and unstimulated, you fucking dummy. Like, damn.
Yeah, there's so many examples of that shit. It's not even funny, and we're gonna clearly get into it more often. There's so much shit we ain't got to tap into. We still ain't talked about this fucking draft day shit. But of course, you know I gotta get on this road.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got one for you guys, and we'll be back to do more stuff. Um, we learned how to do this at a distance, so I don't know. I'm not gonna promise frequency. I would like to, maybe, but I'm not gonna put that pressure on myself.
No, don't do
Um,
that. It ain't. We will be consistent,
there
and
we
we will be
go.
consistent based on what our consistency needs look like. But you guys will consistently get shit from us because you have for the last 5 years. So
Oh man, that's been
please,
a fucking y'all gonna have to start paying us, bro. Like Jesus Christ. Niggas have made leaps in this professional space, so over here, it make some shit happen, you motherfuckers. Other than that though, all right, thanks for listening. Niggas have shit to do. And yeah, it was
and we
good.
can't have outro music.
Yeah, boop 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 bitty boop boop. Outro today until we find some other shit. Thanks for listening. And yeah, man. I don't know, run it up, press play. Okay, bye.
Bye.